Hello. Decided to do another live take. You guys see the guys is pretty all different types. I had asked if anyone like to do what type of videos that you particularly like, or is there a particular type of videos? Because I've been uh, just creating as I saw fit, pretty much, and as I saw some videos that people seem like they responded to a lot, so I try to put more of those out for you to watch. But I just wanted to say go live uh, like this, uh, me in raw and living color instead of, I've been putting some videos that I created in my lives, all of them. And so this time I'm making one just off the cuff, so to speak. Um, and this is me. This is actually me, the person that's behind the camera, behind the phone, as it would say, maybe say, um, being me. And so I hope everybody's enjoying, like I said, the different videos that I create. Um, I look at the different people, across showing me the makeup, the people that are watching, the ages, and whether they're males or females. Some cases, I believe they even show you a locale where you're at, whether you're in the United States or somewhere else. Now, I'm in Mexico right now, Tijuana right now, doing this live. And it's interesting to sit back and watch. I sit back and I look at a lot of other people that are doing their lives. And, like you said, they maybe get made up for it and dressed up for it. But I'm comfortable in my skin. So, I'm not doing all the makeup. Maybe one day I might decide to, dress up a little bit more, but I'm comfortable in, I'm in my little spot. I'm in my corner of my space in the world and doing what I'm doing. Not necessarily what people want me to do, what people say maybe I'm qualified to do because I have a little background, different stuff, but I found out that this I like to do. Um, I don't have to take and set up. A lot of people set up. They write out scripts. They do this. They do that. Nah, I'm just coming at you from where I'm at in time right now. This is alive, so it should be right now. Not no uh, putting on no facades, and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. I'm at an age now where I feel that I should be able to express myself more so and just come out and say what I want, what I'm saying, what I have to say, and be respectful in the process. Um, Respecting people. I respect. I'm a church-going person as far as my background go. I do believe in, higher authority above mankind. And I feel like a lot of my directions I'm in the place I am now because I've been directed to do the right things, make the right choices. I have felt powerful move in my life. I believe I say God. Other people say a lot of other things. They would say, might say it was my coffee or something. I don't drink coffee, but I might say it was my coffee or my tea. I do drink tea. I don't do alcohol, any form. So, I'm strictly, I try to be straightforward in my speech, in my thinking, because, they said, what was that commercial they used to have on? They said, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And I feel like, we all have some skills and abilities, and some are more helpful maybe than others. Some people are very skillful in their areas, and there's just some things that we like to do. We're probably better at than we are at other things. Some people are good, like, during this season now, say for instance, we've got elections going on in the United States. I'm a United States citizen. Like I said, I'm in Mexico right now, but I am a United States citizen. I was born and raised in America. A lot of my education and background as a blessing came as a result of me attending different schools uh, in the United States. And I learned a whole lot of things. And even at this point in my life, I'm still learning. I'm learning stuff about YouTube. I'm learning stuff about, I get to learn stuff about me, about other people, how other people in other places and parts of the world, a lot of places I've never been, and to be able to connect through this here medium called YouTube. I can see people doing things, a lot of things that, I see people are brilliant. I get to find out there are a lot of smart people on this planet, and they're doing things. And I come to YouTube, and I get to see people in foreign lands, places I've never been, places I may never go. And they're doing, accomplishing things, I like to see things where people are doing constructive stuff, like whether it's building stuff. I see people build stuff from practically nothing. I see people that are skilled. I think it's one lady, they call her genius or something. She takes things apart, no blueprints, no this or that, and in a little of no time, she repairs. I don't know if she's been trained in building motors and different stuff like that. I see her take stuff, people's trash, or what people call the trash, off of the trash heap. And when she gets through putting her touch on them, her skills, she repaints stuff, and stuff runs like it's new, brand new stuff. I was like, man, with skills like that, she would never, with all the different mechanical stuff, whether it's engines, whether it's cars, trucks, or, small engines on different things. And I see her just take stuff apart, not right now, just sitting there, just taking it apart, like she's been doing this stuff, and maybe she's been doing this type of thing all of her life. Well, she has somebody in her background. I think sometimes that people have, like their parents or somebody in their family, relatives, that have actually maybe went to school or have learned the different skills, how to do these different things. And she's maybe sit around them enough to learn how to do stuff herself, and she's just showing out. She shows her skills. I'm impressed. It impresses me to see people doing stuff. I'm impressed with that. I really, really highly impressed. And I sit back and I look back, and I remember these people, not always their names. Sometimes they're doing stuff in gardens. And like I said, some people born with a green thumb. Some people have an oily thumb, I guess a greasy thumb, where they working on the mechanical stuff. And then I see people doing constructing buildings. I mean, foundations and everything. I said, now these people, there are some amazing people on this planet. I haven't got to personally meet a lot of them, but to be able to sit back and, and never leave, the comfort of your home. And YouTube is just that, like I said, that medium where you can sit back and just be amazed. And not just with people world. You see the animal world, the animal kingdom, a lot of stuff. I was like, man, I definitely wouldn't want to be in the midst of that. And I see people dealing with, ferocious stuff like lions. They said lions and tigers and bears. I see people doing stuff with lions and tigers and bears and animals. I say these people have to have some nerve to be able to go in and deal with some of them and not be harmed. Not be harmed. I mean, laying all around and rubbing up on them, and they, like lions are licking all on them and stuff like that. Their next meal. It really amazes me. And then there are reports, like I said, the political things. I sit back and I look at some of the live things of where candidates are running for office and stuff like that. I see them doing other things too. So, but I just wanted, like I said, to get on here, do it live, with me up close and personal. Um, I I appreciate all of the people that have subscribed and that follow. I mean, I appreciate you. You just don't know how it just makes me, how encouraging it is for me to see people that follow, that follow me. And I see a lot of these people, I say, man, these people got so many people following them, and they stoop down to take the time to follow me. It encourages me. And so I follow a lot of people because I've learned, oh man, there's just so much stuff that you people out here are teaching me in the comfort of my home, stuff that people may be paying oogles of money to learn. I'm able to sit back from all of you intelligent, smart people, brilliant people, and learn stuff. And this stuff is impacting my life. And as a result, I know the people that come in contact with me personally in some way, I'll be able to take some of the things that I've learned from many of you and make an impact, a positive impact on some of their lives. They're going to be able to take advantage of some of the stuff that I've been, because of meeting you, listening to you, seeing you, visiting you, because I'm always on here looking, because I'm so interested in what you're doing. People are looking at me, but I'm interested in, I want to see what you're doing. I mean, you're doing stuff, and I'm amazed by you. I'm constantly being amazed. And I see people that have, monetized their channel. My channel right now isn't monetized. I have enough, say, followers and stuff, but I don't have like the watch hours to get uh, monetized. And I've got quite a few videos. If you go to my channel, you'll see that I have a lot of videos, because like I say, I got a lot of interest. You people make me interested in stuff. I sit back and I'll see something that somebody's doing. It's like, oh man, that's interesting. Next thing you know, I'll try my hand at making a video along the line of something that some of you are doing. So it's interesting. I mean, YouTube is just if YouTube had been around, say when I was like a lot of the young people now in this generation have a chance to take advantage of opportunities, man, abound. I mean, just all kind of stuff. And you don't have to be rich, because like I said, I'm not rich. I wasn't born rich. I'm not rich by any stretch of anybody's imagination. But there's a lot of ways I feel that a person can be rich. And oftentimes people undervalue themselves. You're more valuable than you realize. There's something that you have, that you've been given, you've been gifted with. I feel all of us have some kind of gift. And sometimes we don't, because my gift isn't their gift, for her gift, for his gift, for their gift, that my gift doesn't have value to it, but it is. And a lot of times people want to bury it at the very thing that makes you unique. It makes you the person that everybody wants to, man, I want to see something about him or her that I just like. I don't know what it is. It's something that draws me. And your gift, is what makes room for you. I believe in the scripture it talks about gifts makes room for us, brings before kings and great men. Uh, Greatness is in us. I think we are created with greatness in us. And sometimes we just have to have it, we have to exercise it. It's like muscles, you sit there and you exercise a muscle. And after a while, before you know it, you'll be picking up stuff that you never dreamed. And that's what learning. I'm finding out that before you know it, you'll start learning stuff, and it'll be easy to you. It'll be easier than what you think it is going to be. Sometimes some stuff, we make it harder because we think about it as being harder or tougher. Even sitting down like now, doing this live, in my mind, I was like, oh man, these people they just seem like they just got this thing down to a science. And I don't think it's really science involved in it. It's just people getting on here and allowing themselves to be who they are. And that's the way it is. The world, it doesn't, it's always going to be, we can't please everybody. Uh, Everybody's not going to like the stuff that we're saying or what we're doing or how we're saying. There's always somebody out there trying to find fault for what people do, and they never look at themselves. They always seem, for people to find time to find fault with other people, sometimes I feel like people think that they're better than everybody else. Is the reason why they sit back and criticize, judgmental of other people because they think they're so much more. And sometimes the more people think they are, is actually, if you really get to know them, and I say, man, they're not really as much as they put on and put out and want people to believe. They're really like lying to themselves and lying to people that sit back and listen to them, tell them these stories, these lies. And even now, I sit back, like I said, I've been looking at all different types of things, and I look and I say, well, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person, and I never have been. As long as I'm in this body, it's going to be something that I can work on. And so the time that I spend working on myself is going to be probably take my whole life. And even after all of that, I still won't be perfect. But I can see the improvements. There have been many improvements in my life. Stuff that I used to do, and I don't do anymore. Say like I used to drink, I used to smoke, a lot of things I used to do. And that's just what it is now. It's a used to be thing. It isn't something that I'm doing now. I have made the choices to, I've been finding out that obedience, I believe in obeying sacred word. What's written in Scripture, I read the Bible. I believe I understand some of the things. It took me a while to begin to understand a lot of things that I'm understanding, but Scripture is so important to have a personal relationship yourself, your own experiences. I don't have to sit back and listen to somebody tell me what it's like to have God to be in their life and directing their life, ordering their steps. I can sit back and talk from my experiences that God has brought me through a lot of different places in my life, rough places. There have been some rough places. It hadn't always been a bed of roses, so to speak. My father, actually, give you a little bit of my history. My father died when I was 3 years old. It was 7 siblings. I was not the youngest. I was like almost in the middle. I had 2 sisters, 2 brothers older than me, and I had 1 brother and 1 sister younger than me. All of them are going off the scene now, but 1. I've got 1 sister who's younger than me that's still alive now. But God has blessed me that I didn't get carried away with some of the things that I was doing. Crazy things. I used to do some wild and crazy things. I was, like the Bible said, we were all sometimes foolish. Well, I used to be foolish about doing things. I was just without thinking of the consequences to my actions with some things. I had a limit because for some reason or another I had a lot of people that seemed like they disliked me for some reason. I was a loner. I stuck to myself. I didn't like to hang with doing what a lot of everybody else was doing. I couldn't afford to in many cases. Being, coming up poor, a lot of things that other people were fortunate enough to have, I didn't. Even down to having both parents there and active, playing an active role in their life. And although my mother did a lot of things, because she was trying to point me in a direction because she knew the stuff that was out there that I could have been caught up in as a young man. A lot of the young men were getting caught up, but I had my mom instilled in me. She sent me, at a very young age, she would send me to church. I was one of them little church kids, and she instilled in me the thing about being honest. She said, don't you ever lie to me. That was one of her pet peeves. Don't lie. Don't you ever lie. So in my mind now, it's just like, hey, I'm not the person that's going to sit up and lie to people because it's not something that I do. I strive to, I do people the way, to do unto others you have them do to you. And so I try to treat everybody the best that I can, even though some people don't return that, don't feel that way about treating people. I do. I don't believe in mistreating people, not intentionally. If I do something, it's not because it's wrong, or make the wrong move concerning people, it's not because that was my intention to take and mistreat somebody. I don't do that. Um, I'm always trying, like I said, oftentimes, like one scripture said, esteem other people better than yourself. So sometimes I find in my past, I found myself treating people better than I even treat my own self. I do stuff for people that I don't do for myself. And as I got older, I started thinking about it. I said, well, you should, treat yourself a little better than what you do. You don't have to you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Uh, you can actually treat yourself better than what you do. You know, you can, treat yourself better. And so I started doing things to improve myself, work on me, work on my skill sets, work on my abilities. And so when I started to indulge in doing things to improve myself, to encourage myself to do better, treat myself better, treat other people better, what I'm saying? And my life started to just change. I started to see more of a purpose in my life. And I think that's one of the keys is to find a purpose for your life, purpose for being here, purpose for existing. That's key, I think, to even longevity. When people have live intentionally, not by accident. I know we all, time and chances, happens to all of us. We all faced with different challenges based on whether it's economic status in life or how our mental states are. Uh, we face with things, and some people just throw their hand up. They don't even try. You know, they don't even try to improve their status in life. They don't do things to try to make, sometimes making your life better, it comes down to maybe helping somebody else improve in their life, make their life better, do something for them. Something that they wouldn't expect you to do, they wouldn't begin to consider to do for you. But you just do it because it was in you. It was placed in you on your heart that they can go and do something for somebody. So I'm gonna try to do something. Man, I know that they don't have to return it. A lot of times people do things because they expect somebody to give them back, do this back to them. But if you do it with the right mind and the right heart, it's like, I'm doing this because I'm able. You know, I'm in a place. God has placed me here, and He didn't put me here just for myself. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, one of her other sayings, she would tell me all the time. She says it's always good to do good. So every opportunity it crosses my mind, I'm in a position to help somebody in some kind of way, help them up, do something for them, encourage them, kind word. Uh, I do that. I don't ask for nothing because that's not the purpose of me doing it. I'm doing it because it was placed in me to do, placed in me to say. Just like now, things that are placed in me to say to whoever will listen to my life, to look at it. Uh, I've been given to say this to you, so I share it with you, and hopefully it works to your benefit. Just like these things have, like I said, they work for mine. A lot of stuff that, just like I said, at one point in time, I figured, I said, well, my life is so wrecked up. Um, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to live, say. I figured, I used to think, maybe I'll live to be maybe 20 years old. It's the oldest I'll live. Because my life was going down the tube that fast. It's that fast. I was trying drinking. I tried smoking. I tried a lot of different things. I tried. Um, But there was some, in all of the confusion, there was also some correctness in my life. And I think a lot of it was due to the fact the way my mother did me as a kid. You know, she would send me every Sunday, she would send me to church. She would send me to church. And I had brothers and sisters. And I just looked like, why me? Why is she sending me? Why is she sending me to church? And all of them, they're doing this and that. And so I see, you know, being like I was and learning like I was, and the things in the church that were being taught to me, you know, like honor your mother, your father, and your days may be long upon the land that God gives you. So I started, a lot of these things started affecting me. When I went to hear different, you know, things in church, and I remember one day I was coming from church. I can remember this so vividly. One of our neighbors, one of my best friends at the time, his mother, coming from church that Sunday, and I can seem like I could hear her said, if you're not saved, whatever, she said, you're gonna be on fire in hell. She was saying that to me, and it caught. It stuck in my mind. I said, what? You're gonna be going to hell if you don't change your life, you don't correct. And she wasn't. I don't think she was actually talking to me at the time. She might have been talking to somebody else, but I overheard her. You know, you never know who's listening in when you're having different conversations, whether it's with yourself or whoever. I heard that, and that grabbed a hold of me, my attention. I was like, man, hell, you know, it sounds like a bad place, fire, you know. Oh man, that doesn't sound good at all. And so I said, well, I gotta do what I gotta do to see. I don't want to go to that place. I don't want to go there. That's not a nice place to be. That's not even a nice place to visit. We'll be talking about purgatory and different, was it Catholic faith or whatever, about purgatory and all of that. I don't want to take a chance on none of that stuff. I want to make sure I'm prepared when I leave here. I want to be ready to die. So I began to do things. Like, say, for instance, I got baptized. I was baptized several times, but the first time I was baptized, and I was led later on to say to change the baptism to faith. I got into apostolic or Pentecostal. I don't know if you are familiar with, say, repenting, being baptized in Jesus' name, Yeshua name, for the remission of our sin. You see the gift of the Holy Ghost. And so as I began to get this teaching about the Spirit of God coming into your life, into your body, into you, and living in your soul, in your body, whatever. And I was like, oh man. And it used to be this one apostolic Pentecostal church when I was growing up. And I was, like I said, doing all the bad things I used to do. I can remember used to pass by there, late at night, in the evening, whatever, say Sunday nights, Friday nights. I was on my way to do get into some devilment, as they would say. I would go by, and they would have the windows open. You could see in. And they would be singing all of these songs, shouting. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but I heard something going on in there. And the church that I grew up in at the time, I used to go to like a Baptist church. And we used to sing and stuff like that. But it seemed like this church that I went by, the Apostolic Pentecostal church, it was on a whole different level, so to speak. As a matter of fact, that same church is where eventually I got baptized, and they had an indoor pool. And the preacher at the time took me inside in that pool, and he baptized me. My little brother at the time, my youngest sister. At this time, I think all of my brothers and sisters were still living. My mother had passed. But we had my youngest brother, my youngest sister. They actually got baptized in Jesus' name, according to Acts 2:38, before I did. And me being the person that I was like, I'm not going to let my little brother, my little sister outdo me. So, so I went and got baptized too. not realizing that it was more than it was something that I greatly needed that was going to affect the rest of have an effect on the rest of my life. And at that time, like I said, my mother had passed. I had went to school at that time for a little while. Matter of fact, I went to a junior college then. I went there. I got some good grades. Um, like I said, I wasn't all bad. There were some things that I did that were on point. And so after going to school there for a while, I had ran out of my little money, my funds. I was working and stuff for a while. I went and worked for this guy that was actually a retired, I think he was a major in the Air Force. I worked for him at a place they called Metal Fasteners. It's back in Alabama. That's where I'm born and raised at. And so we used to go around to in the hometown. There was a lot of Fortune 500 companies like Monsanto there. There was it BP now there. There was General Electric there. There's the tire place where they make tires. Goodyear was there. There was like I said, there was a lot of like Fortune 500. There were steel companies. There's like all kind of companies around here. Making piping, tubing, different stuff, and people were giving me jobs. They were making good money. I never got one of those jobs in any of those places. I actually went into the military. Like I said, a little bit more about my background. I actually spent 6 years. Actually, it was 4 years active duty. 2 years was in active reserve. I was in the Marines. And so after I did my 4 years, I had prayed, I asked God, I said, well, Lord, I want to leave the country. And lo and behold, don't you know, my first permanent duty station that, they send you to after completing your training, they sent me to the Pacific. Actually, a little place a lot of you may have been familiar with called Okinawa, Japan. I spent a little time in Japan. And other places, matter of fact, because being in the Marines, they attached us to a ship. So I went on what they call a 6-month cruise. And in that cruise, I got a chance to go to other places, being attached to the ship, that the particular ship would make port calls in. So I got a chance to see the Pacific. Right now, my mind is set. I want to go to Europe. I got out of that. When I was in the military, they were going to send me to Europe too, but I got out of going. They were going to send me on what they call a med cruise around the Mediterranean. And that's the reason why I like a lot of stuff. Like I said, you see a lot of my videos about the war in Ukraine. You see a lot of my videos are posted about people fighting for their liberty. I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in, people should have, the Constitution. I believe in, like I said, defending it against enemies, whether they were at home or, we said, foreign or abroad. And so I still believe that our government was set up for we the people. It was set up for us. And the forefathers, when they framed the Constitution and put the Bill of Rights in it, which are the first 10, like a lot of people don't know this, the Constitution, the first 10 articles to the Constitution or the Bill of Rights are the first 10 of the Constitution, or the first 10 amendments, and like one of the first, like the freedom of speech and freedom of religions and the other freedoms. And a lot of people try to press on people for exercising their freedom or for wanting their freedoms. And I feel that, the law, it gives you people a right, to make the choice of whether they're religions or other things. So that's your right by law in the United States anyway. A lot of other countries, when I see people try to press on people to believe like they believe, everybody has their own opinion, should have their right to their opinion on different things. And so to express them, that's the thing about freedom of speech. You don't have to always agree with me. I don't have to always be right. And I'm not perfect, so be the first to admit it. I make mistakes. I made mistakes in my life, and before I leave, I'm subject to make more. You know, and so, but I always try to do better. I always want to be a better person I was yesterday or the day before that. I'm working on me, and I find out that that's a regular job. That's 24/7, 365 days a year. I have to work on myself. So I spend more time working on myself. I mean, I got less time in being trying to get into other people's business, what they're doing, they're not doing. But I can see, I can look, like I say, I looked at some, I said, the background, say, for instance, the thing that were going on, say, in Ukraine, for example, how that they just rolled in on those people to take over their country. Just come in, people, I just like I said, when you go out, I go out and plant a field, and you just come in there, and just gonna take all the stuff I don't work for. I mean, the planet, the crops and stuff. And this is what I see Russia doing this to Ukraine, and I don't particularly care about that. You know, you're going to enter into somebody, just like you go and work all the week long at a job, then somebody's run in and take your check. But you work for it. You suffer for whatever it was, that how many hours, whatever your job is, you work for that. And so that's your pay. And so with Russia rushing off in there trying to take people's houses, land, stuff they done built and destroy and stuff, having no regard for other people's lives or their limb or stuff they don't work and suffer for. They don't sweat in their families and everything. And whether it was passed down from generations, and you come in and just destroy and just take stuff like, like you can do that because you got an army, you have all these other different type of things. And it's just like, I was like, man, I don't agree with that. It's just like somebody coming in your house that you have built, you've furnished, you've worked to furnish it. You worked to, say, get a car, a truck, whatever it is. You work for that stuff. The clothes on your back. It's just somebody walking up to you and stripping you naked, taking your stuff from you that you didn't work for, to put there, to enjoy your life. And somebody coming in and then just taking stuff and thieves. It's like they're stealing from you and not working, want to enjoy stuff you work for. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with nobody doing that. I'm a person of faith. I know the Bible said, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor," and other commandments. The scripture that God has commanded us to do. But God also said, "You don't work, you don't eat." Every people want to eat, but they don't want to work. They don't want to do no sweat of their brow. They just want to come in on their, haunches, so to speak, on their behinds, and take and enjoy stuff they haven't worked for. They haven't spent not one moment of time, 1 ounce of energy, thought, or anything for stuff that these people have. They don't work for. They've labored for. Whether it's months, years, their lifetime, and all of their life earnings and stuff they work for squandered in a moment of time by somebody's rocket, just tearing up stuff that you sit there. They don't know what you and not caring. It's like Putin, the Russian. They don't have no regard for human life, and just people just dying. Well, like a person's life means nothing. They don't value human life. They value their own. But anybody else's life, it's like, means nothing to them. And so I get so moved when I see people doing this kind of stuff to people. And that's just like, people have a right to exist. People have a right to improve their life. If they're willing to put in the time, the energy, then they should be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They work for that. And just like people on YouTube, people worked. So people don't know what people go through, say, to get monetized. They don't know what people go through to build a thriving channel, And some people, it's easier to sit back and comment, on other people's stuff on the sideline. But these people they're actively involved in their channels. They're actively involved in connecting with people in so many different ways. Because, there's so many different ways to connect with people. Because people are human. We all human. We all breathe. We all have feelings. Some of us will cry. We are emotional about different things, and that's our nature. That's part of us being human. We got feelings, and so keep it in mind. I try to keep it in mind when I do things. I said, well, I don't want to do that because I'm not doing stuff to hurt people. But some stuff I post, I want to be trying to point out certain things. I'm not just sit back on the sideline and just not say anything. Awareness. And that's the thing about YouTube. YouTube is a place that's a lot of awareness. You come in here and stuff that you're not aware about that's going on. I'm not saying that everything that we see or people post is truthful. Some people have great imaginations. I don't see it that way. They have giant imaginations. They imagine a whole bunch of things. And some people imagine things so much that they even come to the point that they actually believe some of the stuff that they're imagining and trying to get other people to believe, and other people that have, their wits. It's like, man, that's not even viable at all. And we know that that's something they created, or somebody's helped them create. They're imaginary. They're hallucinating. People, like I said, take something, they hallucinate, seeing stuff and believing stuff that's not real. And a lot of people do that. And they'll try to encourage you and have you to believe this stuff. Now, a lot of people believe. A lot of people just give in. Seem like, I don't know if it's because people don't want, it takes too much to think for them. They rather just depend on something. They're so dependent on other people's thinking that they won't use what they have between their ears, because all of us are capable. Like I said, all of us are capable of doing things. We can do great things. Just all it takes is one right. It's like sometimes people with millions and billions and whatever, sometimes all it takes is one idea. You hear like about people making music, like one hit wonder. They made one song that was a hit. They made other songs. They only had one song that was a hit. But all it takes is one. It's like video. One video. We could take one video that connects to people. It connects to an audience. One. And it doesn't have to be a long video. It could be something short, just a matter of seconds. I've got some of my videos that I've been fortunate enough to have saved to post. And the views on some of those videos, it's like I think they told me now I've got probably over the period of time that I've been here, I've reached over 4 million views throughout my time on YouTube. It's been years now, but I was like, some of the videos and some of the stuff that I posted, some of the videos, I just I sit down and I saw something that I was experiencing and doing, and I said, well, I want to share this. And that's what I do now. Sometimes I'll create something. I said, well, then, if I like it, there's somebody out there that has some of the same takes that I got. So I'm going to post some of the stuff that I enjoy so that somebody else can enjoy it too. Hopefully, I don't know if they'll enjoy it as much as I say maybe enjoyed it, but just to, enjoy. And the thing about watching videos is that you don't hurt nobody. You can sit back and watch videos. I don't interfere with nobody. I'm not sitting up bothering with anybody. I'm just sitting there in my own business, my own little space, and enjoying what other people are creating. Not only being able to create videos, but to sit back and watch other people's creations. And then I draw from what they're doing and try to be better. Like I said, Mr. Beast, he's got on here others saying millionaires and whatever from doing YouTube things. I don't know if I'll ever, say do that, get to that level of YouTubeism. I'll say YouTubeism. But to get on here and just to sit back and relax and just talk about, like a lot of people say, well, you know, you got life experiences, and it's true. And so the longer you live, the more things you do, so the more experiences that you have. I have a lot of them, a lot of different experiences with different things. I've been fortunate enough to be around people that some were talented. Oh, I mean, talented to do stuff is just like, man, I'd be amazed at what people can do. I mean, amaze me, you know. And there's probably a lot of people probably look at some of the stuff that I do, and you know, to me, it's, you know, it's just run of the mill pastime thing. But for them that have no knowledge about those type of things, it'd be like, oh man, the top of the world to them to see somebody doing some of those things. But I got a chance to see a lot of stuff, and I'm still seeing. I'm still seeing things. You know, you know, somebody will be talking about, oh, you're gonna be when you get to this age, uh, you're gonna know this, you're gonna know that. I don't know. Seems like there is no end to the things that you can learn about this planet itself. What has gone on is history. Uh, there are so many historical things that are even now. I look at some, like I say, YouTube videos, some of the things like about stuff that are being discovered. You know, they're just uh, different things that are revealing, making things, revealing different things. You know, the earth, the changes, say in the environment, you know, whether it's due to weather changes. Um, and we are looking and it's uncovering stuff that's been there. It's been right there in our face all this time. We've been walking around on stuff. uh, you know, I think about what I said, there's nothing new under the sun. And we're finding stuff. You know, like hieroglyphics, stuff in pyramids around, you know, different places that water is rolling away, or wind is blowing stuff away, and it's uncovering stuff. So we're seeing things, beginning to see things that have been here ages, for ages. Stuff has been here, historical sites that have been here, and it's just like, oh man, you know. And you talk about giants and stuff, and you start finding skeletal remains of giants. You know, you read about it, you know, you watch TV. I remember years ago there used to be a movie, I don't know if you're any old enough to remember, it's called The Land of the Giants. And there were giants. And so to actually live in this world, I know I see pictures, you know, people standing by and people that were like giants, it's like, and you know, they got all of this stuff where they touch pictures up and they make them look like what they want them to look like. But some of this stuff is real. It's not touched up stuff. These are actual real sightings of different things, discoveries. And I was listening to something. I think it was on a YouTube video about where the glacier are melting. And there's like, I think it was like one piece on glacier. He said it was on the bottom. It's floated to the top. It was like 40, I think these things like 40 miles long. And so the seas are actually going to rise. You think about adding that much more ice, you know, you melt it down. And so as these icebergs or whatever start to float into warmer areas, they're melting. And so with the melting of these different types of ice, the sea's going to rise. You know what I'm saying? Just like, say, naturally, you take a glass of water or something and you drop some ice in it, and it might be a half or almost a full glass, but the ice was floating around. But as that ice begins to melt, that water in that glass gets higher. Its state changes. It goes from solid to a liquid, or when it liquefies, it can add into the liquid that's already there. So you end up with more water. So it's deeper now. And so you think about the levels. of air above the water now because the water is higher, so you got less air and different things. So you got a lot of stuff changing. And with these changes, you got change in the way the what's being carried over, what's being added, say, to the environment that wasn't there before. And you getting different amounts of it being added now. You know, it was a little bit now because of the water. Now there's more of it to uh, transact with it. You know what I'm saying? How do you say? Interact with it. You know, and so as it interacts, it's going to have effect. That's just like being around, people. Like, for instance, YouTube is a place where you interact with the right. If you connect with the right people that are here. And some people are just like, almost like, say, people say, well, that's a junk, whatever. But there's some people on here that are very knowledgeable about different things, whether it's on creating your making your videos longer, better, um, gaining, say, followers, gaining watch hours, um, uh, being able to qualify for the partner programs and stuff that's available, um, and actually be able to change your life. Um, I feel that this is an opportunity, and it crosses all what happened with YouTube. You don't have to be rich to be a YouTuber. You don't have to be poor to be a YouTuber. Just an average person can get on and create a niche, so to speak, with their unique skills. Because nobody's you. There's nobody. You gotta realize there will never be another you. You are the only you. You are unique. There's never going to be anybody else that's going to think like you. There's never going to be anybody else that's going to do things like you do them or see things the way that you see them. So you are a unique person. So when you do something, it's something that nobody else has done before because you're unique. Your way of thinking and seeing and doing things is going to be different than everybody else. Everybody, a lot of times people want to fit in, say, to a crowd. But your uniqueness is what adds value to you. And add value, say to my YouTube, me being who I am, is what makes my YouTube the way it is. Because nobody else is thinking about their channel like I think about mine. Nobody's going to view or post the things that say I would think to post on mine because nobody's not thinking about it in terms that I do. Nobody's seeing it the way that I'm seeing it. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff based on the information that I have been afforded just through YouTube and other avenues to be privy to. And so this shape is still shaping me. I'm still being shaped by a lot of stuff, be it IQ or the other ones that actually help you bring particular insight, point out different things that otherwise I would step right over it. I wouldn't even have a second or third thought about it. And so people that are here that are actually making whatever, they're making 6, 7 figures doing this. They're doing stuff and they're creating their own niche for themselves. And the information in the sites that cause them to do this is locked away in them. Nobody else thinks like they do. Nobody else views things like me. Nobody else is going to do stuff like I do. Nobody just like this video. Nobody else is going to have the same exact identical saying or thinking when it comes down to creating this, like say, a live video that I have. Mine is unique. You're not going to find it nowhere else. It's not going to be found anywhere else, but because nobody else is going to. Somebody might get close, we can get close to replicating some works, but that individual, that original thinker, like a painting, some people try to say, what was this artist thinking about when he drew, say, the Mona Lisa or some other famous artist work? What was he or she thinking when he drew that? what state was their life in? Or Mozart, when he was creating a piece of music, what state? Or some rapper, some famous rapper that's famous. You know, somebody saying Jay-Z or Snoop Dogg or some other singer, you know, Miley Cyrus or some else, you know, everybody's got their particular artist and type of music. Some people like gospel music. They're Kirk Franklin or they're Hezekiah Walkers or some other singers that they like. There's something that attracted them, you know, that draw them, just like our videos, the stuff that we do, our channel. There's something that we are doing, and it's somebody that can connect. For some reason or another, they're connecting to you or to us. And so that connection, it's like a bond. We have a bond that's formed between us. And so when we're bonding to each other, I mean, I'm connected to you. I'm connected to you. I'm you know, and I stay connected by doing the things that connects us, you know. And like I said, certain videos, certain material, I'll go in and maybe I'll put my little touches here and there on it, you know, and to make it more of me instead of everybody else. And so when I post it, that's what you're seeing. That's me in say in video form. You know, that's me in video form. You see me. I'm there and I'm not there. You know, maybe I'm not physically there, but that's the portion of me that I'm able to share with people. Say that watch my videos. There's a piece of me in there. There's a piece of me in there, whether it's in the description, in some of the keywords, in some of the thumbnails that are being, you know, that I'm putting out there. It's something of me in there. There's something of me always going to be in there. It may not be a big giant piece, but there's a little piece, a little twist in there of me that I had to put my little touch. And so, like an artist, when a painter does their painting or their carving or whatever type of art it is that they're doing, it's a piece of them in there. You know, and sometimes we get lost. I get lost in when I'm working. Sometimes in YouTube, I'll be so lost into the work, the particular things that I'm creating. You know, it's that's why you call us creators, because that's what we're doing. We are creating. We are creative beings, and our creations are our videos, or our descriptions, or our titles, thumbnails, or whatever. That's us. You know, and the people get to spend time with us. We get to spend time. We get to come into people, say the privacy of people's homes and of people's lives, um, and be there with them, regardless of what it is they're experiencing or going through. They decide to share some of their time with us. They say, well, I'm gonna let you come into my life for however long. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna watch one of your videos and stuff, and they're letting us in. You know, and then like vice versa, you know, we're letting people in when I sit back and I watch somebody else's video, and I'm enjoying it. I'm intrigued. Sometimes I watch them to the end. Sometimes I might watch it 2 or 3 times. There might be a portion in their video I'm so attached to, and I'll sit there and I'll watch it. I'll constantly back and forth to that portion of the whole video. I'll come back to that place where it connects with me in some kind of way. And so that's a good thing, to be able to connect with people and in a positive way. You know, like they said, well, longer videos work better and all of that. You can get your watch time faster with long videos. A lot of my videos, I could make them very long, but I want people to be enjoying the time that they spend with me. Do something or give them something of value that makes them want to hang around and see what I'm going to do next. What is he going to say next? You know, and there's so much there. You know, there's so much that I could go share and I could talk about. Oh, I used to live in Florida. I used to live in Massachusetts. I, I'm living in California. I lived in Tennessee. You know, there are so many people from different parts, even the United States. You know, I lived in New York for a little while, you know. And so when you begin to talk, when different people from different areas, they come across your material, so well, yeah, I live here now. That's the street I used to live on. I went there, you know, say Coney Island. I used to, yeah, the old Yankee Stadium, yeah, the first baseball, say, professional baseball game I ever saw. I can remember, I was like probably, what, 15, 16 years old, if that, 14, 15, 16 years old, in that range. And my first professional baseball game was at Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium. A lot of people say, well, they tore that down. Yeah. But for me, you know, it was the new Yankee Stadium to me because it was new to me. It was my first time going there. And they were playing, I believe it was the Florida Marlins. I can still remember that to this day because that was my first game. And I got a chance to go to Coney Island, you know, and eat some of the, what is it, foot long hot dogs. I don't know if they're still doing any of that stuff now. Coney Island's still there now or whatever because I know they've had storms, tornadoes, and hurricanes and stuff that come through, tore up a lot of stuff over the years. But, or to ride in the subway, to actually ride in the subway. First time riding a subway. And I mean, I think I maybe rode a train one time in my life. I think first time I rode a train at all, I was young. Just like the first time I flew up in an airplane. That was, man, to fly, and it was like not a jet. It was like one of those biplane, a single engine airplane. The first time I ever flew in a plane was one of those things over the city where I grew up at. And we had a little small airfield there. And I don't know if they was giving away flights or taking people up. We had to pay, I don't know how it was, but I ended up on a plane first time. And since that time, I flew on jets. I mean, for long periods of time out over the ocean and stuff like that, which is amazing. It's amazing to be up that high in the air above set of water. I can remember flying. One time I was on, like I said, on my way when I was telling you earlier about going to Japan. And on my way there, I actually flew over Alaska. I flew from, like it was in Air Force Base, but it was not a military flight. It was a domestic flight. And I flew up to Alaska. First time I've ever been to Alaska. Anchorage. Went to Alaska and there's snow everywhere. You look down and there's snow. But I can recall flying over the ocean for hours. Hours over the ocean flying. And I looked down and I saw like I think it was a tanker. And I was so far up in the air, I was so far up above it. It looked like, you know, a kid, and you ever saw kids playing with little toy boats and stuff in the bathtub. This tanker looked like I could reach out and just pick it up. It was so small, so far up. And I can recall coming down to Japan, my first time ever touching my feet into a foreign country of the United States. And to walk down and see the traffic on the road going in different directions. So what I'm acquainted with the cars drivers here on the right side, and everybody who was just the opposite. People that was driving on the right side was going in the opposite direction than what I was used to see it going there. All of the cars and trucks were different design. People were dressing differently, talking differently. I didn't understand the language. People were talking, saying things. It's like, oh man. And so that was like for me, it was a culture shock to be able to encounter people that spoke different other than English. And so I just want to stop in today. Anyway, I want to do this live. Hope everybody, this is Saturday here today. It's about 12 o'clock here like I said, I'm in Tijuana. I'm in Mexico right now. But I am enjoying my little time here with YouTube. I enjoy my space in YouTube. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade the experiences that I've enjoyed here with you guys for the world. Just, the people that I'm seeing and encountering here, just you guys, many of you, man, just some great people. And I get to communicate with a lot of people, like to communicate with me on my videos. They'll leave me comments. I don't always, like I said, I got my opinion about stuff. They have theirs. And I don't try to knock it, because we all different. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. And until I decide to say, be bold enough to, someone made a statement that says, success favors the bold. I heard somebody, I was maybe on YouTube, somebody was saying this. I don't see them anymore. I see a lot of people, and I don't see a lot of people anymore. I don't know if it's because they left YouTube or they passed on or what. But they said, success favors the bold. So I was bold enough today to get on here and spend a little time making this video. It's probably the longest one I've ever made like this live. And I hope you enjoy it and enjoy the time. But have a great day.